of his intra-group conflict, which has to do with who steers the wheel of the party's leadership. We all know that the success of a political party largely depends on the capacity, the shrewdness, and the astuteness of the party's leadership. So the Labour Party has been witnessing, since the end of the election, has been witnessing a power tussle. What could be the problem? In March, precisely on 27th March, Labour Party held a controversial national convention at Nnewi, Anambra State. But despite this, some members of the party are still kicking against the convention, calling it shambolic and false. In July, a federal high court sitting in Abuja validated and confirmed the national convention held at Nnewi and also reaffirmed the position, the leadership, under the authority of Julius Abure. Julius Abure was the party's leadership before he was re-elected on 27th March. But despite this, some members of the party, including the governor of Abia State, Governor Alex Soti, are still having some misgivings and doubts regarding the authority of Julius Abure and his National Working Committee. So what is the position of the law regarding party leadership? What is the problem? Why is this coming now in the Labour Party? Now, joining me to speak on this is a legal luminary in the person of Barrister Fayin Riarike. Barrister Fayin Riarike is public affairs analyst, legal practitioner, and a human rights activist. You are welcome to this program, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right. Let us hit the nail on the head by going straight forward. What is the position of the law regarding the leadership of political parties? What is the position of the law?
The position of the law as it regards the leadership of a political party is that every political party must have a leadership that is democratic. Before now, the position has been that a party, the internal affairs of a party cannot be litigated upon, and that a party decides the way they want to run their administration. But over time, it has been made in such a way that parties, if you have to choose the type of mechanism upon which a new leadership comes in, either through democratic election of direct primaries, of a direct election, or the one that you send by delegates. And anyone that the party endorses, you will now use it to elect your executive members. Initially, it starts from world congresses to the state congresses, and eventually ends as a national convention where you elect new set of leaders or reappoint or re-elect those that are in that particular position. And in this instance, usually before such is done, there should be a letter, communication to INEC, who will now monitor that particular convention. In the absence of sending a letter to INEC to monitor that convention, whatever that is done there cannot be ratified by them or recognized by them. So that is the position as it concerns how leadership of a political party emerges and how it can be recognized and become legal and legitimate instrument with which administration of a party is run.
Right. Now, for enumerating some of the conditions that must be met by a political party in order for its leadership to be legitimate. Now, looking at the Labour Party, you and I know that there is a current tussle. Despite the conditions that you enumerated now, that you spelled out, 4 days ago, Julius Abure, the current chairman of the Labour Party, had a meeting with the National Working Committee where they opposed the call by Governor Alex Soti of Abia State. Of course, you know that Governor Alex Soti is one of the those party members speaking against the current leadership, proposing that a new leadership be created through another national convention. But we know that the national convention was held in March and has been upheld by the court. So why is there still conflict coming from another faction saying that this should not be done, that the current party leadership is shambolic, is non-existent, that there is a vacuum? Why do you think so?
Incidentally, what actually happened is that you can see that there is a very big question mark as it concerns how Abure emerged as the re-emerged as the national president of, as the national chairman of Labour Party. In that particular convention, the convention was meant to hold in another venue, but before you know what is happening, it was shifted to Anambra State and Nnewi, Anambra State. And that convention eventually held on the 27th of March, 2024. Incidentally, in that convention, there are certain things that are telling. One of them being that both the presidential candidate of Labour, His Excellency Peter Obi, and the vice presidential candidate of Labour, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, and some senators and members of the House of Reps from Labour did not attend it. Rather, they stayed away from that particular convention, and it was equally not monitored by INEC. And because of that, it had a legitimacy question, or not even a legitimacy question, whether it gained support from the principal members, very influential members of the political party. And as a result, the way the system runs, Abure went to court and legitimized that particular convention, and it was ratified. And as a ratification by the judicial process, as a result of that, it becomes very difficult to say that that particular convention lacks legitimacy, because the court have actually endorsed it and said that that particular convention was valid and subsisting. And because the court have said that, there is nothing any other person can do except Abure and that particular executive, in their own wisdom, maybe out of patriotic zeal, for there to be peace and harmony in Labour Party, may decide to step down. Because if the only governor of Labour Party in this particular dispensation is saying there is a problem, not necessarily that Alex Oti is against his administration or anything, but there has been so much problem. Even the Labour has come in, Nigerian Labour Congress has come in, set up entirely an interim government, and told that particular interim body to go ahead and organize a convention, and so many other, even infighting among the executives of that particular Labour Party. The whole thing is becoming tiresome. But you know, a party like that has become attractive, there is always meant to be this particular challenging problem which they are currently having. And it is quite not pleasing to the eyes.
Let me ask you this. In the last convention that was held, you said that the stakeholders who should be there, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and his vice president, I mean, the presence were needed, but they were not there. That was conspicuous. Their absence was conspicuous. So it boils down to the question, when a party is about to hold a national convention, who is responsible for convening? We all know that, of course, the party chairman is responsible to convene a meeting. But how is the process done when a national convention is to be held? The correspondence, the communication to all stakeholders, how is it done?
Usually, when there is supposed to be a national convention, the National Working Committee will sit and ratify any venue for that, and eventually the calendar, that is the calendar, the venue, and everything will be communicated to INEC, and equally a letter will be sent out to every particular apparatus of the party. In this instance, both the state executives of that political party and the national executive of that political party and the principal stakeholders of that political party and those that are equally elected to attend the convention of that political party should be aware of both the venue and the time and everything. At the end of the day, everybody will be on board. But you know, in this particular one, there is a little problem. The little problem in the sense that at the initial stage, the convention was built to take place at a particular venue, I think in Abuja. But before you know what was happening, the convention venue was changed to Newi in Anambra State. And the question which I think is begging for answer is, was INEC notified of this change of venue? And if INEC was not notified of this change of venue, to what extent can it be said to be legitimate? And all the principal holders and those that are supposed to attend that convention, are they aware, as provided by law, through communication by both the National Working Committee, National Working Committee, and the members of the executive? Because usually those communications are made by the secretary or the president. Was that communication made to INEC? Because one thing is, the INEC, you can communicate to INEC, but INEC can choose not to attend. The most important consideration is that you've made the communication to them. So if for any reason they choose not to attend, that is no longer your problem, because all that the law requires for you to do is to communicate to them. So in view of that, that is the process, as I have just enumerated, wherein a political party can hold their convention, elect the officers that will run their affairs for that particular period of time, and at the end of the day, those elected will stand elected and will be legitimate for the administration of that political party.
All right. One of the substances of the ruling of the court is that INEC, because you earlier said that one of the the reasons why there is a power tussle is that a faction of the party is complaining that INEC did not monitor the election, the national convention. Yes, but the court is saying that, okay, let me just quote section 82, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act 2022. It says that the commission, that is INEC commission, may, with or without prior notice to the political party, attend and observe any convention, congress, conference, or meeting which is convened by a political party for the purpose of electing members of the executive committee or other governing bodies, nominating candidates for an election at any level, and approving a merger with any other required political party. So the word "may" here is being emphasized that INEC it is at the discretion of INEC to meet, to attend the convention of a political party. But is there any difference between attending a convention and monitoring it? Is there any difference between these two expressions? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here.
I can't see you.
Hello?
I can't see you. Your video, turn your video on.
You can't see me? Yes, attending the convention and monitoring it are the same thing.
Barrister, could you turn your video on? I can't see you.
Okay. You still can't see me?
I can't see you. What is the problem? Okay, I see you now. I see you now.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. Attending a convention and monitoring their convention is essentially the same thing.
Okay.
Yes, it is essentially the same thing. Because the essence of attending a convention is to monitor the convention. The essence of attending a convention is to monitor the convention. So it is left for the commission, after being notified, to attend. And once you attend, you are supposed to monitor. And the next thing you are supposed to do is that you are supposed to give a report. You give a report of actually what actually happened. Was because the essence of INEC attending that particular convention for the election of the executive of a political parties is to make sure that the rules guiding that the election is in line with the constitution of that political party, and that internal democracy is observed. So if for any reason they say that internal democracy is not observed, or that the constitution of election of the office holders in that political party was not observed, the report of INEC will equally go a long way in sorting out the dispute that may arise as a result of disagreement between members of that political party, as we are currently seeing. But incidentally, in this instance, there was no report from INEC because they said they didn't observe the election, they didn't monitor the election. And just like you rightly pointed out, the section is clearly saying that INEC, you have an option to attend, and you equally have an option not to attend. In any way, it doesn't affect the legitimacy of whatever that took place at that particular convention, because if you are notified of that convention and you fail to attend, it doesn't concern that political party again why you failed to attend or that you did not attend. It doesn't in any way, because if the INEC is allowed, the essence of that particular provision is that at times you may inform INEC to attend a convention and they will fail to attend. And if they fail to attend, they may hold a political party to ransom. So the most important consideration is that the attendance of INEC and monitoring of that convention is not absolute. It is a choice, but the most important thing is that they will be given the option of making that choice. So I feel that, yes. So that is my understanding.
Another substance of the court ruling was in respect to the absence of some delegates, including presidential candidate of the Labour Party, PTOB. Now, according to the court, the issue of political party, all the issues of the political party is squarely rest on that political party. That is internal affairs. The affairs of the political party rest with that. So do you believe this assertion? What does it mean that nobody can hold the infractions of a political party when it does wrong, or when it goes against his own constitution in any way? Does it mean that no governmental body can hold it responsible or accountable?
Whenever there is such a problem in a political party, it has always been my argument, and even during the primaries to nominate candidates for election, anybody, like in this instance, any member of that political party can actually challenge that if you are not satisfied with the way the national officers or the state officers of a political party emerges, the most important consideration is that you must show that you are a member of that political party. You must have a membership card, and that you participated in that particular convention or congress that leads to that primaries, or that leads to that convention where the members of that political parties, where the officers of that political parties were elected. So to that extent, you cannot challenge it, but not anybody from outside. Even INEC cannot challenge. The only thing INEC can do is to either recognize or not recognize that particular executives. And we all know what happens when they don't recognize. In other words, they won't accept any document, any correspondence from that party, from that executive that they do not recognize, except if the court has ordered them to so do. Like in this instance, that the court ordered them to recognize Abure's convention held in Nnewi in March 2024.
We have been discussing political parties, opposition parties, particularly the Labour Party issue, leadership issue. Of course, if you have any question or comments from anyone, the floor is open for you to ask, or just raise a hand and it will be thrown to you. Okay, Barrister, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Regarding the 21 days notice, according to the chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abu, he said that the party had given a notice. The first notice was on December 2023.
Yes.
According to the ruling, it said that the counting should begin from the first time the notice was given.
Exactly. That is the position of the law.
Okay, so at the first point, the first time the notice was given, that is when the counting started. And therefore, the validation could be justified, in your opinion, right?
Yeah. Please repeat again. You said yes. The position is that once that particular notice, 21 days notice has been given, it suffices. If for any reason that particular convention did not hold after that notification, if the election did not hold, sorry.
Barrister, are you there?
Yes, I was disconnected. I was disconnected. Hello?
I can hear you, but your video, I can't see you.
Okay. I'm saying,
turn your video on, please.
It's okay. Are you seeing me now?
Yes, I see you.
Okay. Sorry. I had a glitch, but not the INEC glitch. So, what we are saying is that once there is that particular notification, it has satisfied the 21 days requirement. If there is any change of venue or any change of address or any change of time, the only duty the party owes is to notify INEC of that particular change, and it meets the requirement of the law. Not that a fresh 21 days notice will be given.
Okay. What do you think should be the function, or there are stakeholders that the party members of the party should look up to? The presidential candidate, P2B, the vice president, and then the governor of Abia State. So what do you think should be their roles in this dispute?
Anyway, they should take more than a person interest. They should take more than a person interest in the political party. Because one is that they have interest. In as much as it is a political party, it's internal affair of the party, they are members of that internal affair. They are members of that particular political party. And whatever decision that is taken by that political party eventually affects them during the general election. because a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. So it is in view of that they take more than a person interest in what happened. We can take, for instance, what is happening in ABGA, or Progressive Grand Alliance. Because of the problem, internal faction and internal division, the party has been split into two. There is the Njoku faction, there is the Sylvester Slice faction, and you don't even know the one that is that is the main faction, that is the main or legitimate executive of the ABGA. You can see that there is a confusion. Of research, there is a recognition of the Njoku's faction. And the implication of that is that going forward, only the list that is submitted by Njoku and his group that will be recognized by INEC. And you may not know to what extent the thing will affect the electoral fortune of that particular political party. And that may happen to Labour Party if care is not taken, where there will be split. And if there is all this split of the political parties along whatever consideration, it will affect the electoral fortune of Alex Otti. It will affect the electoral fortune of His Excellency Peter Obi in case he decides to run for presidential election in 2027. It will even affect the electoral fortunes of the party in all these off-season elections, like the one we are going to have in Edo, Kogi, the one that we are going to have in Edo, and any other off-season election, like even the one that is coming up in Anambra State next year. So that is to that extent that there is need for the house to be in order, because even when you want to run for the national election in 2027, if there is a division, you will now present a weakened front, and which is not proper in the circumstance. So the interest of the principal stakeholders, like His Excellency Peter Obi, Baba Ahmed, the members, the senators elected on the platform of Labour Party, the only governor they have, should be considered. And just like I have said, if in the interest of the party and for the sake of the party, there is need for there to be a solution, both Abure, Alex Otu, His Excellency Peter Obi, the members of the Senate and the House of Reps, and other principal stakeholders of the party have to sit down and find a political solution to the problem in such a way that it will not hurt the party. Because as it is now, there is always a danger that some other elements outside Labour Party may hijack the party and take advantage of this division in the party to cause greater harm to the party.
Do you think that the power tussle we are witnessing now is a result of the fact that the Labour Party has recently, been brought to limelight, considering what happened in the 2023 general elections? For the first time in the history of Nigeria, the Labour Party became third in the general election. Do you think that is why there is this tussle, there is this jostling for power within the political party?
Yes. You can see that because of the way the party performed, they have become attractive. People now see that there is a possibility of you winning an election, because the essence of running for election is for you to win as a candidate. And because there is no independent candidacy under the Constitution, you must run on a particular platform. The political party, pursuant to the provision of the Constitution, you must run on a particular political platform. And you check, it is not enough for you to just go and pick any platform and run. You have to contest on a platform that you think will give you victory. So contesting on the platform of Labour Party, you are already assured of about 33% of success. So with that 33% of success, because you can see they are the third largest party, with that 33% of the success and putting into consideration your own personal effort and your own personal ability and your own personal popularity and capacity, you can now see that it can shift you towards the borderline. So that is why there is this jostling. And again, you can see that the opposition party, the opposition, or the other political parties may not equally be sleeping in their hours. Because for you to have an organized Labour Party, the implication is that these people will form a formidable force in 2027, just like they are doing in Labour Party, they are doing in People's Democratic Party, they are doing in ABGA. So that at the end of the day, there will be a weakened opposition in 2027. So that is basically the thing. And I have said this in different fora, that the type of democracy we are running in Nigeria leaves so much to be desired. This is not, we are not practicing the democracy the way we are taught, both in primary school and in secondary school, and the way it is practiced in the Western world. I may be wrong, but I feel that there is need for us to do this democracy, which is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and not in a situation whereby there will be so much manipulation of the system and so much intolerance by the way the powers are being there, by so much tussle of power, and at the end of the day, what you get is not what you want, particularly for the masses. I have my concerns there.
Right. In the communique given by the Labour Party chairman, he said that Labour Party is unlike other political parties, where you have one man or an oligarchy, dominating or controlling the affairs of the party at the expense of the other party members. The Labour Party is a party that accommodates the will of everyone. But he was saying this against the backdrop of so many allegations leveled against him. I'm talking about Julius Abure, the Labour Party chairman.
Yes, that was in response. That was in response to the request by Alex Oti that they set up an interim executive for the party, and that Abure and the co should step down. So he was responding to it and saying that it is not a situation whereby one man will take decision for the party, and that the governor should face Abia State. But the solution is not that simplistic of facing Abia State. The thing is more because there has been complaint everywhere. I support Abure, for the records. I support him. But when there is complaint everywhere, this one fighting, that one fighting, the other one fighting, the other one, at a stage it becomes tiring. It becomes tiring. So you can go ahead.
Abure is not autocratic. Because I was about, mentioning some of the allegations. For example,
yes,
he was arrested earlier this year by the Edo State Police for allegations of attempted murder of another party member last year. Then he was also accused of embezzlement of at least 3 billion naira belonging to the party, amongst other allegations. So he is clearly being accused of being autocratic. So are you telling me that his sermons on democracy is not hypocritical?
The truth about it is that there is a presumption of innocence. When I learned about, when I read about the allegation of attempted murder, it was to a very large extent laughable. When the story of how the attempted murder happened, and for your information, the person that was alleging attempted murder, the event took place months before he even went to the police to make a complaint. And that on itself raises a question mark about his allegation of attempted murder. And as we are concerned, as far as we are concerned in law, that particular issue goes to no issue, because as we are speaking, He has not been charged before any court in Nigeria for attempted murder. The police have not charged him for attempted murder. There are equally so many other allegations against him, like forgery and other things. But he still has not been charged to court for any of those offenses. And it means that because in Nigeria, he who asserts must prove. And you must prove beyond reasonable doubt. And on the basis of that doubt, there must be a conviction. The question is, have there been any conviction of Abure on the allegation? Because as far as we are concerned, at this particular time, they are trumped up charges. On the issue of embezzlement of 3 billion, when the financial secretary of the party responded to that question, he clearly stated that the party has not even raised up to that amount, talk less of same being embezzled. So equally put a question mark, because it is not enough for you to bandy figures up and down and saying that, look, he embezzled 3 billion. 3 billion from where? The imaginary 3 billion or the one that was generated by the party. So all these are issues. So even if we are making an allegation, the allegations must be placed within the realm of realism and a little bit being objective. You know, the problem is that I was listening to an interview by a former national president of Labour Party. The problem is that those that are fighting Abure, they are not as smart as Abure. So, you know, even if there are elements of truth in what you are saying, because of the way that it has been exaggerated, it becomes outlandish. And some of us that try to reason and go beyond sensationalism, we look at it and say, this thing can't be true. As when you are accusing Abure of embezzling 100 million, 200 million, that one can easily be believed. And even on the basis of it, the offense for commission of embezzlement of 3 billion is the same offense for embezzlement of 100 million or 200 million. So and all these things, and not only that you have to make that allegation, you must equally prove it, because this is a allegation of commission of crime. And if it is allegation of commission of crime, you must prove it beyond reasonable doubt. And you must equally go to court for it to be proved and for conviction to be entered against that particular person. In the absence of that, whatever you are saying in a local parlance becomes a beer parlor discussion.
You asserted your support for Abure. You believe in him, right?
No, I'm not supporting Abure.
I thought you said something about your support. But
no. What I'm saying is that yes, I said that why I'm saying that I supported Abure is that Abure gave the whole, because I'm a member, I'm an unapologetic member of the Obedient Movement. Anything that stands on the road of obedience movement towards achieving success, I am against it. And from the much I know, I don't know Abure inside. I don't know, because I'm not a member of his national executive. I'm not a member in the state executive of People's Democratic Labour Party. I am not in any way involved in their day-to-day running. So anything I know of Labour Party is on the basis of that is put out in the public space. So on the basis of that, and putting into consideration that Abure gave our principal, His Excellency Peter Obi, the ticket with which he ran for the 2023 presidential election, and he supported him and he moved around with him. And on the part of His Excellency, there have not been any complaints made openly against Abure. So on the basis of that, I have no reason or justification to be against him. So in any fora, I keep on saying it, that if you are not satisfied with his level of administration, the system has put in place how you have to remove him. It is not enough, because if some certain aspects of the political party, Labour Party, are saying we are not happy, because democracy is a relationship of numbers. If you are in support of a particular political, if you are in support of Abure, you are supposed to be in majority. If you are against Abure, you are equally supposed to be in majority for you to effect a change or to have his retention. And incidentally, in the convention that was held at Nnewi, majority of the people that came there supported him. So to that extent, there is nothing we can do because we want a very solid front for Labour to be very strong and challenge, both not only in this election, forthcoming Edo election, but also in that of Anambra State and some other elections that may come afterwards. So it's not as if I'm supporting Abure, because I'm supporting the Labour Party, because our principal, His Excellency Peter Obi, is still in Labour Party.
Okay, another member of the Labour Party who is also a legal practitioner, Kenneth Okonkwo,
yes,
tackled Peter Obi, because you said that Peter Obi is supporting or believes in Julius Abure, but Kenneth Okonkwo is saying no, that Peter Obi has not been quite, his actions regarding the dispute in the party has not been quite commendable. And even he, Okonkwo, is against Julius Abure because he's saying that his tenure has since been expired. So what do you have to say about this?
The truth is that you must know His Excellency Peter Obi. He is, if you know him, and the unfortunate thing is that it is not enough. It is not enough for you to be close to him, but you must know him. He has his style. He is mild. He doesn't fight dirty. He believes that he will tell you what he feels is the correct thing and feels that you will be wise enough to follow it. That is the type of person he is. So if you don't appreciate that, and you must be of a particular mindset for you to actually appreciate that. Because the truth about it is that Peter Obi is loved because of the way he is doing things. And that particular way of his doing things have elevated him to a particular level. And is contrary to the way the others are doing things. Incidentally, it seems Kenneth Okonkwo wanted him to come and they scream down on Abure, shout, you didn't do this thing well, oh yeah, you must leave the party, or you must leave that your position. His Excellency Peter Obi is not that type of person. And that may be the reason why Kenneth Okonkwo left the obedient movement and said that he will.
Yeah, he hasn't left the obedient movement. I don't think he has left.
He said that he will look. He said that he will look for, because I read his press conference, that he will look for another aspirant who will carry out his aspiration of a better Nigeria, and that as far as he is concerned, that he doesn't think that person is Peter Obi. I read his press conference. I was a little bit, because even if for any reason you've traveled far and wide with this man, this noble man, so the least you can do, if for any reason you don't want to be part of his dream and aspiration, or you don't like the way he's doing, is just to quietly leave and not to be casting aspersion on him. But the truth about it is that whenever you throw such jab at Peter Obi, he has a way of using it and showing the reason why he is the type of person he is. When you throw him a lemon, he will use it to make a lemonade. And that is it.
We have been discussing the dispute, the internal internecine or intra-group conflict in the Labour Party. The Labour Party has, quite since the end of the 2023 general elections, has been, undergoing the power tussle. Who should steer the wheel? Who should steer the wheel of the party? Now, If you have questions or a guest, the floor is open to ask. Or if you have any comments from anybody, you are free to do so. Now, Barrister, what do you think? Because as we speak, some factions still exist within the Labour Party.
There are two hands up now.
Anybody, do you have any comments from anyone?
Hello? Yeah,
I have had my hands up.
I have something.
Okay. Ask your question or any comments.
Okay, who is talking? Is it me or the gentleman? Who you should I continue? Because I'm supposed to come up next, sir.
Ladies first. Okay.
All right. I think Mary Jane. Mary Jane should go first.
Okay. Good morning. Fantastic initiative.
Excuse me. Can you turn your video on? Let's see you.
No, I'm actually just coming back. I'm doing my floor exercise. So if you guys see me, oh my gosh, that's no way.
Let her speak. Let her speak, please. Please go ahead, ma'am.
All right, continue.
Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. Like I said, this is fantastic. I have been trying to find the people in charge of this diaspora digital media. My name is Aju, Ambassador Aju Ilumelu, and I'm just going to say right up here that I am a staunch member of Labour Party, and I am a staunch member of Obedient. I left Atlanta, Georgia during that election, and I fought my way. I became the Lagos State Media and Publicity Director for Big Tent. And I was solidly behind. I really worked for GRV. I was one of the 3 people that got him ready for that very strong debate. I am a card-carrying member of Labour Party. I was an observer during that election, and then I doubled when there were no agents in Ikoyi. I jumped in. Whenever you see, if you're in Labour Party, whenever you see Aju Global Media, that's my media company that is in different continents that I used for Labour Party. I used for Obi. I was there. And recently, I just got, when Barrister Julius Abure inaugurated the Directorate of Mobilization and Integration, I became the Deputy Director for Diaspora for Directorate of Mobilization and Integration. And apart from that, for the Directorate in Nigeria, I am in charge of all the communication and media. So whenever I see your company, I have made attempts to reach out to diaspora digital media, because since I am over the diaspora, I just wanted to at least create a relationship with you guys so we can become partners. This is it. After having worked so hard for this 2023, it is heartbreaking to see what is going on. At first I was going to ask Barrister Ifeanyi if he's a member of Labour Party, because a lot of times he's saying them. So I got a little bit confused. So right now, I'm going to tell all of you all that what is going on, see what is going on, is serious propaganda. And it started off with APC, PDP, and all this. Sorry if you're a member of this party. I happen to have a a project on space right now that is making wave. It's called the Nigerian Political Pulse Check. So I deal with it is partisan, and I'm sure some of you have seen it. Tomorrow is going to be GRV, that is, and the next week is going to be El Buba, and the other week is going to be Abga, chairman. So I'm trying to be as fair as possible. So now this is what's going on. Barrister Ifeanyi has already said it. That if I can blame Labour Party, and I still do, I still blame the Labour Party that since propaganda started, they did not do anything. Yeah, see, remember, I operate through Aju Global Media. That's with my media. But the National Labour Party media is number one. The problem is they just kept dumping all our opposition, tearing us down, and Abure does not come out because he's not a talker. He won't come out and talk. Nobody will come out and talk and defend the party. So anyone can come up right now and say, oh, Barrister, God forbid, Ifeanyi stole something, and he's quiet about it. And then someone else says it, and another says, before you know it, it becomes a life of its own. At the war time, where you had the Biafran war, they all lived on propaganda, because propaganda would tear you down and give you a different identity. And that's what's going on right now. I am not saying, oh, Abure is a saint, Abure is a saint, Labour Party is this, Labour Party. But right now, we are just struggling to stay afloat in the party. We're going to have to fight for our party. And one thing I hate that is being done is that people, they just cling on to personalities. Here in America, I also am a member of the Democratic Party. And whoever comes out that has good thing for Africa, you see me jump up. But guess what? That the party is supreme. We have to protect our party with everything that we have. And if we all think about that, you forget about, oh, who is this person is this, or this person is that, or this person is that. And based on this, I have two questions for our able attorney. Attorney Ifeanyi, I'm just trying to, pick your brain a little bit, because, sometimes I get very discouraged. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that thing that the INEC chairman pulled off, where Abure was not involved in the recent activities for all national party chairmen. Just please shed some light on it. And is there a possibility, because I'm seeing propagandas everywhere, that it occurred yesterday again. So now what is our faith? Because the oppositions, they're gonna now put it in the head of that Yakubu who has no integrity to now say that, okay, well, since Labour Party is having problem, there's no more Labour Party, you're not going to be involved in any election. That is one. Then the second question I have for you, sir, is that meeting that is going to take place on September 4th. If Labour Party, I'm just saying, if the current National Working Committee, the executive members of Executive Council, if they're gonna appear, what's going to happen? What are the prognoses? What is going to happen? So let me say this once again. I thank you, the digital media, the diaspora. Please, if you don't mind, I will find a way, if someone can reach out to me, or I'll find a way to reach out to you guys so that we can work together. Thank you so much. And everybody here, please, I also want to let you know, if you're a member of the Labour Party, just have some love for our party and see how you can rescue us. 2027, all road goes to there. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, Okay, Barrister, before you go ahead, Mary Jane, please, can you just drop your contact on the comment section? Thank you. Or I'll drop my contact. My name is Kevin. So you
Okay,
can reach
Kevin.
out.
All right, thanks. All right,
Drop
thanks.
anything. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Mary Jane. We appreciate your contribution.
My name, I would rather be called my Nigerian African name, Aju Elumelu. Aju.
Okay, Aju Elumelu.
Yes.
We appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Barrister Riarike, would you rather answer her question first, or let's wait for Dr. Anong Moses to ask his own question? What do you think?
Any way you choose, I will take. But maybe if I may take answer.
Okay.
If I may give attempt an answer to her questions.
Love you.
Okay, go ahead.
Or Dr. Moses can ask his questions, then I can take all of them together.
All right.
Whichever
Dr. Moses, Anong Moses, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go on with your question or comment.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the last speaker, but most especially I appreciate the legal master who is in the house brainstorming and educating us. Then I have these pieces of questions to drop here. Having listened to his position of the law, of the convention, and the position of Abure with INEC. Now, the process of national convention, the barrister, was a process breached or not? First, when a national convention is to be held, the procedures are laid down in the Labour Party constitution, which means from the world stage, you have delegates for the local government, and then from there, delegates are selected for the state. Then from there, final delegates are selected for the national convention. Was this procedure followed? If it was not followed, why? That's my first question. Two, why the sudden change of procedure in this convention processes? Why did Abure suddenly change the procedure? What is so important in the national chairman's office that Abure feels that no Nigerian cannot do? Because I remember very well, there was an internal agreement by the party that after the tenure expires, Abure will step down for another person to come in. Was that agreement obeyed if actually internal democracy are supposed to be settled by the party itself? Why breach that particular agreement, which the code equally made reference to? The agreement was made in the presence of Abure, Pio was there, and other members of the party were there. Why suddenly did Abure breach that internal agreement? And so, if the internal arrangement issues of the party has to be tackled internally, why did Abure himself auction for the court processes? And you equally made mention of Okonkwo and Pio using a procedure which Pio adopted in his own style of leadership. Don't you think that is this style of leadership that has prolonged this issue to where we are today? Was it not better for Pio to niche this issue from the bud, not to allow it extend to this level that we're about losing the party, losing out of off-season elections? Was it not better for Pio to address this matter once and for all, and then restore the dignity of the party? Which one is more preferred as we are looking at the current situation of the party? Which one would have been better? Thank you.
Very much for your questions. Barrister Riarike, over to you.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Dr. Moses, and thank you so much, Aju Elumelu. Yes, I have always acknowledged Dr. Moses. He has been a very dynamic member. I know him and all the battles he has fought. Ajuelumelu, I equally know her. The Aju Global and her communication efforts. And I can see the way she's speaking with so much passion, and that she is equally having so much pain in her heart because of the way things are going. You are not the only one that is having the pain. But I have to state clearly for the records. Yes. Yeah. Hello? Yes. For the records. For the records, I'm not a member of Labour Party. I'm not a member of Labour Party, but I'm a political affairs analyst, and I'm an obedient member. And not only am I an obedient member, I was the national legal advisor of the P2B support network, and equally the national legal advisor of COPDEM. COPDEM is Coalition for Protection of Democracy. It's a political action group, and we believe in the message as preached by His Excellency P2B. The difference between us and those who are party members is that if for any reason there is any need, because when His Excellency P2B was in People's Democratic Party, we were there with him. It was even at while he was trying to run for presidential election as a member of People's Democratic, that was when the Obedient Movement was formed. So when for some reasons he was frustrated out of People's Democratic Party, we followed him to Labour, where we are supporting him. We are not, like me, I'm not interested in holding any position in Labour or being a member of that particular party, but anything that will help His Excellency to have that, to secure that aspiration of being the president of Nigeria, so that we can have a taste of what he did in Anambra State, we are ready to go with him. So that is as it concerns your first question when you ask whether I'm a member of Labour Party or not. Then on the second one, you said that the INEC chairman did not invite the Abure executive to the National Party chairman meeting that will be held on the 4th of September. I think it is wrong. If the court, Federal High Court in Abuja, have said that Abure's convention is valid and that his leadership is legitimate, you don't have any right again not to recognize him, even if there is an appeal against his leadership. Even for any reason you say you are going to maintain the status quo. What is the status quo? He was the chairman, he was the national chairman of the political party before that particular convention was held. So give or take, he is supposed to be recognized and dealt with until the court says otherwise. There is the Court of Appeal and there is the Supreme Court. In the absence of any pronouncement from any of those particular political parties, in the absence of any pronouncement by either Court of Appeal or Supreme Court, setting aside the election of Abure and his executive, it is the political party it is the executive that is standing and should be respected. With the sentiments which we have shared as it concerns the battle of the political parties is equally well noted. We all know about it, and it is a frustration that we've suffered. Some days ago, I was interviewed by a national television in Nigeria. In that interview, I clearly stated that what is happening, particularly against PDP, against Labour, was sponsored by APC or APC elements. And the unfortunate thing is that those elements are speedily finding their way to Labour Party. And some are even gearing towards securing tickets in Labour Party. That is why it is very frustrating. The next thing they will do is that they will come there, get the ticket, contest the election, and based on the sentiment of obedient movement, they will win. And when they win, what do? They go back and do what Francis Onyewuchi did in Imo State. After winning the senatorial seat and becoming the senator representing Imo East, I think Imo East Senatorial District, at the National Assembly, he dumped the party and went back to APC. It is very disheartening. And some other members of the political party, like that one Carlo from Abia State, were at the House of Reps. He became so embarrassing. He was even the first person to endorse the election of Bola Tinubu, when he actually won election from Labour Party to the House of Reps. And he was of political APC stock before he came to Labour Party. So such persons should not be allowed to come in, and they mess up. And because of the obedient passion and everything, they come to the party, they take what the party has to offer, and off they go again. And because we have a weak system, weak political system, nobody who has jumped ship from a political party, they are allowed to retain their seat, which is not proper. So on the basis of that, it is wrong, as far as I'm concerned, for INEC not to recognize Abure's leadership. And to a very large extent, it goes to answer some of the questions as raised by Dr. Moses Anongu. The truth is that I can't sit down here and tell you whether there is a breach or not. Even if I feel that there is a breach, the judgment of the Federal High Court has rectified everything and said that there was no breach. You know, the internal agreement which we are talking about, where it is clearly stated that Abure will not run after serving out his first tenure. It is just, if there is such in existence, I have said I'm not a member of the Labour Party, so I'm not privy to that. But if such exists, it's just called a gentleman's agreement. It is not legal and it is not binding. So he can, for any reason. It only raises a moral question and not a legal question. He can say, okay, after that I will run again, or I will respect it and not run. So in view of that, that is just simply the answer. It is not as if to say you can held him and on the basis of that disqualify.
Barrister, are you still there? Okay. Is it a network problem? We have been discussing the power tussle in the Labour Party. Barrister.
Yes.
Okay. You can continue.
Okay. I was talking about. Are you hearing me?
Yes, but the level, the shape of your camera is not quite right.
Yeah. Okay.
Not quite right. Keep it at a horizontal level.
Okay. I'm trying to do that, but it seems okay. I have.
Oh, it is now okay.
Yes, it is now okay. Yes. Okay. In response to, I have answered whether there was a breach or not. I have answered that the court said that there was no breach. So whatever opinion I'm holding here is no longer relevant. Because if the court have considered all the sides of the, have considered every side of the, have considered every side, and at the end of the day arrived at the position that there is no breach and recognize that particular convention, it means that there is no breach. On the second one of whether there was a delegate, local government Congress and state Congress held. I think there was local government and state Congress held. I stand to be corrected. And that was the local government and state Congress that led to the National Convention. The only thing they did is that, contrary to what Dr. Moses was saying, the only thing they did, it was not a change of procedure, but a change of venue. A change of venue, not a change of procedure. And that change of venue was equally communicated. But the only thing is that INEC, in their wisdom, chose not to attend. But the most important thing is that Abure was wise enough to comply with Section 82, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act, which only allows him to give 21 days notice. And they subsequently followed it up with change of venue, which doesn't in any way affect the authenticity of what he has done. So, and just like Aju Elumelu have said, you know, at times allegations are raised and continuously against the Abure-led national officers of Labour Party. And because he is not responding to them, those lies, allegations are being elevated to truth, because it has been consistently told over time that even those telling the lies have started to believe in them. I'm not, just like I keep on saying, I'm not part of the Labour Party. I didn't contest the election or contest primaries in Labour Party. If I am to do tomorrow, maybe if I have any need to belong to any political party as we are talking now, I will belong to Labour Party. But Labour Party under P2B, not the Labour Party outside P2B. If there is any reason, I will belong to that Labour Party. But for now, I'm not a member of the Labour Party, but I'm unapologetically obedient. And we follow him because I believe in him. We only support persons for now who we feel that can do well for Nigeria. And he represents that aspiration. I'm so concerned about my children. That is why in everything, I feel that when I give him the leadership, when I give him that leadership mantle, that at least the future of Nigeria and everybody about it shall be recognized, and the dignity of Nigerians shall be restored nationwide and worldwide.
Thank you very much. Dr. Nongo Moses just sent a message there. He said yes. there was no word local or state congresses. It was after the Kangaroo Convention that Abure rushed to conduct world local government and state congresses. What's your response to this?
Anyway, as it concerns the Constitution of Labour, I'm not so conversant with their Constitution of Labour, whether you must hold a local government Congress, whether you must hold a state Congress before you hold a national Congress. But as it concerns the Electoral Act at Section 82, subsection 1 is very clear. It says that if you want to hold any convention, in this instance, a national convention, you notify INEC. The party can now choose the way they want to hold this particular convention. Who are the people that are going to be the delegates and all those things. So if there is any question, maybe the delegates may be the the party chairman and the state chairman at ward level, at local government level, at state level, that are supposed to come and vote. or whichever way it is. I'm not aware, conversant with Labour Party, the way they nominate delegates for the National Convention.
Thank you very much, Barrister Ifeanyi. It is very nice having you. Okay, I'm trying to read a message here, but I think time is no longer on our side. We continue the conversation next time. Barrister Ifeanyi, it's nice having you on this program. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next time, even if there is a need for this conversation to hold again, I will be willing at the shortest notice to equally be in attendance and be part of it. Yes.
Hope to see you next time.
Thank you very much, Godly.
Okay. Right. That was Barrister Ifeanyi, public affairs analyst, human rights activist, and a legal practitioner who came to discuss or talk about the leadership crisis currently ongoing in the Labour Party. Now, what do you think? What do you think about the situation? Everyone, I think this is what we have for you this time. We hope you join us next time for another discussion. Thank you for joining us.